The sliding doors hissed open and shut behind me like they were breathing, slow, indifferent. I stood there with my suitcase, watching families collide into hugs, laughter, relief. Someone mattered enough to be expected. My phone was silent. I called again, 12th time, straight to voicemail. An hour passed, then the text came. You want attention? Try not being a disappointment. That was the moment something inside me went quiet. Not broken, sharpened. I wiped my face, swallowed the tears, and thought it clearly, calmly, without drama. They will pay for this, starting today. I used to believe family was a safety net, that no matter how far you fell, something would catch you. I learned instead that some people only love you when you're useful to the story they tell about themselves. When I left for college, they called it an experiment. First semester would decide if I was worth continued investment. That was the word my father used, investment. I studied harder than I slept. I worked nights. I ate cheap. I came home for breaks to cold dinners and warmer lectures about gratitude. I thought endurance was love. I was wrong. The signs had been there long before the airport, the missed calls, the way my achievements were received like inconveniences, the way my younger cousin, louder, simpler, easier, started getting my old room ready for him. Still, I didn't confront them. I learned early that reacting gave them power. Silence gave me time. That night, after the text, I didn't go home. I booked a cheap motel. I stared at the ceiling and replayed every moment I'd been minimized, redirected, replaced. And in that quiet room, I made a promise, not to hurt them, not to scream, but to outgrow them so completely they'd feel my absence like amputation. I stopped calling. I stopped visiting. I stopped asking for approval. Instead, I started documenting everything. Old emails, financial transfers, promises made and broken. I learned the language of leverage. Scholarships, internships, credit, contracts. I built a life that didn't require witnesses. By year 2, my name carried weight in rooms my parents didn't know existed. Professors returned my emails within minutes. Recruiters followed up. I learned what respect sounds like when it's real. At home, things cracked quietly. The cousin failed out. The business my father bragged about started bleeding money. My mother's calls went from sharp to sweet. I let them ring. The real betrayal revealed itself in a forwarded email I wasn't supposed to see. My parents had told the extended family I chose distance, that I was ungrateful, that they'd done everything they could. I didn't rage. I smiled, because lies are expensive to maintain, and I had patience. I waited until I graduated, until the job offer came, until my name was printed somewhere they couldn't ignore. Then I made my move. Small, clean, devastating. I corrected the narrative, not publicly, precisely. I shared documents with the people who mattered. I declined family references. I removed my name from shared accounts. I returned gifts with notes attached. Thank you for the lesson. I've learned independence. The messages started 3 years after the airport. 37 of them. Please, we were wrong. Come back. I didn't read them all at once. I rationed them like medicine. Let the desperation settle in. When I finally agreed to meet, I chose a neutral place. Glass walls, daylight, no corners to hide emotion in. My mother reached for me. I stepped back. I let the silence work. They apologized the way people do when consequences arrive. Vague, panicked, self-centered. I listened like a judge, not a child. My father asked quietly who had taken my place in my life. I told him the truth. No one, I said. That's the point. They realized then what they'd lost wasn't access. It was relevance. They couldn't punish me anymore. They couldn't rewrite me. I had already spoken, just not with words. I left without hugging them, not out of cruelty, out of clarity. Revenge isn't loud. It's living so well the people who dismissed you have to ask permission to be near the life they tried to limit. I don't hate them. Hate requires attachment. What I feel is lighter than that. Clean. Final. They taught me disappointment. I taught myself power.